Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
I
okay,
If I was gay,
honestly.
if I was gay, it would be for sad.
What?
Let's talk about a real issue, a real debate, where no one will ever come in the middle. It's always going to be divided, and there's always going to be one side that's right. And it's very, very topical right now. And that, my friends, is the PlayStation versus Xbox.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. All right. It's go time for
All right, we got
So-
two sides right
So,
Yeah,
so
it's-
I think it's funny because somehow it's completely divided 2 versus 2.
Yeah.
The PlayStation fan, which for the record, I played Xbox. Well, I played Nintendo most of my life, but Nintendo doesn't count. That's not in
That's
this.
not part of the discussion.
That you can play Nintendo and then play whatever you want. I recently saw the light. I recently was enlightened when I got a Spider-Man PS4, and my life was forever changed. I am now a PlayStation fanboy, and I've been trying to get a PS5 for like 2 weeks now, and it's ridiculous how
It's
hard
so
it
hard
is.
to get 'em, yeah.
The CEO was like, "Oh, I was shocked by how fast they sold out. Like I didn't expect." I'm like, "You're such a liar!
Yeah.
You're such a liar!" And there's a scalper group that has like 3,500.
3,500 of them.
That's more than most major retailers right now that have them. I'm like, that's insane. Anyway, PlayStation's better, better games. That's all you really need to say. Just better games,
Alright.
better controller
wanna-
now apparently. So.
Yeah, I want to hear what
All
what
right,
the Xbox has to
let
say.
me- Let me tell you what I have to say. All right. I agree with you. PlayStation 5, great games. You know, you got your exclusives for the PlayStation. They have a lot of very good single-player story-based games, right?
Yeah.
You know, personally, I'm all about playing with my friends, though.
Exactly.
And according to the statistics of, I don't want to say statistics, but the, what do you call them? The specs
Yeah.
of both consoles. The Xbox Series X is supposed to be more powerful than the PlayStation 5, and it's supposed to run cross-platform games and party games better than the PlayStation 5 would. So that's one of my biggest points that I have to make.
Okay.
The games that you have on your Xbox One are upgraded to next gen.
Yes.
That's insane. And the speed of that console is unmatched. It's insane. Like, I get that the PS5 is next gen, and it's probably insanely fast as well. But the fact that you can have 4 games open at once and switch between them.
Okay,
Okay, but
I
how?
have I have an argument for that, or for kind of what Zach said. Okay, obviously it kind of is looking right now that the Xbox performs a bit better, but I think a bit is still too big. I think it's like very minuscule how much
Oh, I
better
see,
the
I see.
Xbox outperforms the PS5. Like
Okay.
it's not on a big enough level to where you'd want to get the Xbox over the PS5 just because of performance.
Who needs to switch between Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, and freaking Fortnite in 2 seconds? Like, I get it's convenient, it's cool, but like, how often are you really gonna be like, quick resume? I'm gonna start and play my game right where I left off, in the middle of playing Call of Duty. Like,
If you played with a certain friend, you'd understand.
Okay, but listen to this. So this is what I was gonna say.
I'm just saying,
All-
it's cool, but
All multiplayer games right now are heading towards cross-platform anyway.
Uh-huh.
So if you have friends on PS5,
Uh-huh.
you can play with them on Xbox. Okay,
Uh-huh. it's
and
gonna
every
run better
game,
on Xbox.
Every
Cross-platform
game-
is garbage.
every game has like an in-game party system where you get to talk to each other.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so why not pick the console that's gonna have the better games to play? If everything's gonna be playable on one console anyway.
Okay, well, let me stop you right there. So, cross-platform
That's my case.
is going to run better. Yes, the PlayStation will have more options because of their exclusives. But let's talk about... Let me ask you, Brennan, when did you first get a PlayStation 3?
When I got a PlayStation 3, probably a month after its release.
Okay, how old were you?
Oh, super young. Like PS4 came out in 2013, so I was probably for the PS3. I was probably like 8 when I got it.
Yeah,
yeah, we were little
let me put
boys.
this in perspective. I'm 8 years old. I walk in my house. My dad just bought me and my brother, me and Nick, Xbox 360. Wow.
Okay.
Never
That
owned-
console was 100% better than PS3.
Oh,
Dude.
dude, Xbox 360 destroyed
Yeah,
PlayStation
so,
3 in that era.
wow.
For sure.
You know, we're buying games. We get Call of Duty Black Ops is one of the best Call of Duties of all time, in my opinion. And we play the crap out of some Xbox 360 games that are amazing, fun.
Halo.
Halo.
I have.
I'm not
okay,
done
go
yet.
ahead. I'll rebuttal that after.
I'm not done. Fast forward. Okay, think of all the money I put in since I was 8, and now
Oh, I
I'm
know where he's
19.
going. I know where he's going.
All the birthday money I put into the games I've gotten, the storage, the time I put into those games too. Now, fast forward, I get the Xbox Series X.
I know.
19 years old. I get to still play those games
Exactly.
from when I bought them when I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay, guess what?
All my progress is still there.
All the loading screen and
pretty
stuff will
good
be
point.
faster, but guess what? It's still going to be the same game that you played when you were that age. The graphics are going to be the same. If anything,
Okay.
they'll be a little better. Nothing's going to change about
Fun
the game.
freaking game
okay?
to play again.
No
Yeah.
one's going to play it anymore.
Okay, but like Brennan, are you carrying around your PS3 and like plugging it in? And
No.
playing it? So I get it. I get it. That is an amazing feature that the PlayStation. I don't know what is wrong with them. Why they have not jumped on the cross
I don't know.
Backwards.
Backwards
backwards
compatible.
compatibility. That's what it is. I get it. That is a super big thing, but like a lot of things are also digital, so you could also probably like you could still play PlayStation 3 games through not natively, which sucks. Like on Xbox Series X is running it natively through the hardware, whereas PlayStation you'd probably have to. I think they have like an emulator or something. But you can still play them. Not every game, but like you can still play them. But it is really hard to argue, especially with Game Pass too. I mean, that is a good deal.
Oh yeah.
But like I have those consoles still. So for me personally, I don't like if I really wanted to play the older Xbox games, it wouldn't take a lot just to play them. And I think the Xbox One is also backwards compatible with the original Xbox and
Yeah.
Xbox 360,
Yeah.
which is just something that Xbox is doing right, has been doing right for a long time. So
Yeah.
that's not it's not like a knock against the Series X. But I mean, does Xbox have Spider-Man?
Listen.
No.
When-
You can't like Xbox Series X doesn't feel next gen to me. When I look at the UI, when I see people playing it, it's just another iteration of the Xbox. PlayStation 5 it looks like it's a new console with new games right off the bat. And I know eventually both consoles are going to have their massive libraries with different types of games. Like it's just the launch right now, so you can't really say, "Oh, Xbox doesn't have games." It's like, well, we don't know that yet. Like Halo Infinite looks amazing to me. I love Halo, so but I can also play that on my Xbox One. Do I want to? No, I'd rather play it on the next gen, but I can. Xbox is almost kind of like because they're so inclusive with all their previous platforms, it almost de-incentivizes you to get the new one because you're not really left in the dark, especially with xCloud. I mean, you can play games on your phone. Like, that's crazy. Now, yeah, it looks like I'm shilling for Xbox now, but that makes me just want to buy the PlayStation because they've kind of, they know what they're doing. They know that, so they've kind of, like, artificially made their supply low to make the demand, like, so much more hype. It's like, I want to play Demon's Souls. I want to play Spider-Man Miles Morales. I think Godfall's cross-platform. I don't remember. But I want to play Godfall 2, and it's like, PlayStation, new games, new generation. I need PlayStation 5.
Okay,
That's the only way to play them.
Your argument, you said, oh, well, it de-incentivizes them to buy the new console.
Yeah.
So, PlayStation is incentivizing them to buy the new console by not giving them those features?
I'm not saying that's a good thing that they're doing, but it's just it's just the reality of it, and you can't
I would rather actually have my games than bite the bullet. That sucks.
See, but the thing is, though, is I'd rather have these amazing, beautiful games that I can play and look at, like, whereas Xbox is winning with older games. With older games, they're gonna look the same when you play them.
Yeah, and a lot of the greatest,
It's
actually getting remastered.
That's a horrible argument.
Well,
Not really.
Getting remastered.
How
Some
many
of
of the
them
games are gonna get
You're
remastered?
crying about graphics? Seriously? Okay.
No, I'm saying
these are games from our childhood. That's why we play them.
Okay, yeah, but games from your childhood, right, are just based off of memories, not about how actually good the game was.
The games are good.
If you played them compared to games today, they don't compare. They don't match up.
I don't
Like Halo
agree
3,
with that,
right?
but
like Halo 3, huh?
That's all I gotta say.
But the thing is Black Ops 2, that's okay, one, you can play that again, like good as new on the other generation, just fine. It's not like you need the Series X to go back and play those older games. And like I think they most, if not all of the backwards compatible, I think minimum they have like better resolution because it's just that's something that's not hard to do. You can just upscale and be done. They're not like going back and necessarily like changing the graphics drastically, but they are like taking the time to like upscale these games and like make it work and make it like run on the Xbox Series X, which is great. But you know, I get the consoles so I can play the games. I've already played all those games. If I'm talking about next gen, I want to play the new games. And if I really wanted to play these other games, I have the other consoles. Like, if I never had Xbox, then yeah, I never would have played those games. But if you really think about it, some of the best games on Xbox weren't Xbox exclusive. I think Xbox has always had a problem with just not enough exclusives. Halo and what?
Well, see, the thing is, they have exclusives,
That's a good point.
but they're just not good. Halo is the only one that you can say.
Gears of War is good too, I guess, but it's like
After the first few
that's two.
iterations,
That's
though.
two. You got for PlayStation, you have Ratchet and Clank, Little
Jack
Big
and
Planet,
Daxter.
Jack and Daxter,
Friggin-
Sly Cooper, which they're not announced that they're going to come out, but I'm just saying in terms of their IP, you got God of War,
The Last of Us.
Spider-Man, The Last of Us. I mean, The Last of Us 2. We don't have enough time to talk about my feelings on that game, but still, The Last of Us, consider one of the best games of all time. PlayStation.
No,
And
so
PlayStation.
I'll let you guys go.
I'll be honest. Okay, it's really hard to argue for the Xbox because of just the sheer content of the PlayStation. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's really hard. And honestly, one of the big things that's holding me back is just because I can't get everything I have on my Xbox onto the PlayStation if I were to switch.
Yeah.
That is a big deal, and it's hard to deal with that.
Mhm.
And I don't want to break the bank on getting a bunch of new games.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Especially when I have this, like, the first generation Xbox One.
Mhm.
That's just not. It's like an old computer. And
Yeah.
It's dying out, and it's really trying its hardest. It actually shuts off randomly now, which is great when it's playing the next gen games that I'm really trying to run. But I don't know.
I
See-
mean, you have Game Pass, and like you can't stress this enough. Game Pass is the best deal in gaming.
100%.
Yeah,
You-
100%.
Why would I buy an indie game on my PlayStation when it's probably just on my Xbox for quote unquote free? It's not free, but like I'm paying $15 a month. You have to pay for online anyway, so you might as well just pay a little extra every month to get hundreds of games. So it's like I feel like the Xbox, like for literally anything that's not a AAA title, like that's the machine I'd want to play it on, purely because I don't have to like pay for it. But PlayStation, I just like, if you don't get it, you're missing out on the greatest games of the generation.
Yeah, like
I mean,
when you look at a console, the first thing you think of when a gaming console is video games. Okay, what games can you play on your console? Okay, that's the first thing that pops in anyone's head, and you can play Call of Duty on both consoles. Okay, so it's like you want to play with your friends. Guess what? You can play with your friends on both consoles. But it's like you can't
For
play.
Xbox is easier.
But
For
you
Xbox,
can't.
there's a lot more interconnectivity.
Okay,
There's
yeah, but
so
I'm
much
just
more
talking.
social
I'm
aspect.
talking strictly. Consoles are for gaming. Okay, for games, video games. You can't beat PS5.
You
when
can
it
go.
comes to
You can go on
games.
your phone on the Xbox app to see if your friends are online before you even log on.
Okay, yeah, but I'm saying strictly games. You don't even match up. Like it's not
So-
even close.
so-
Xbox doesn't match up.
Let me make
Halo, obviously, amazing. I've never really played them, but I know from everybody they all love them. So it's obviously amazing. But like since
You just don't understand. You just don't get it.
since Halo 3 though, since Halo 3, what have you guys had?
Halo 4, which
But weren't as good.
Halo 5, but Halo Infinite, maybe. I don't know.
Halo is still Halo.
Yeah, Halo's still Halo, but it's like
And
yeah.
I can go back and play Halo 3 on my console.
yeah, you can, but
Well,
If
you have the
nothing
Master
new's
Chief
coming
Collection
out-
and you'll have it, yeah, true.
if nothing new is coming out, there's nothing like there's no breath being put into your like console. It's just the same old. You guys repeating the same old thing. Like, oh, I'm playing Xbox because of Halo. Oh, I'm playing on Xbox because of Halo.
I'm playing on Xbox because of friends.
No, I know, but
Because
like,
of
But that's the thing is that it goes back to the cross-platform now. Now this is a new thing, so it's kind of like before.
and the
Yeah,
controller. I think the controller is more comfortable. I probably have.
I've
it would
heard
take me a
I've heard the
while to-
PS5 is one of the
what
best
makes
controllers ever made.
the console.
But because it's not like the other DualShocks, so I don't know because I can't freaking get my hands on one. I'm almost willing to freaking shell out like $800. I'm not going to.
me neither.
I'm
Yeah.
going to resist. But I almost spent like $630 or $650 or something, and the price of it, mind you, is $500. But I'm keeping my cool.
Why
Black
won't
Friday.
You just pay for the digital version. That's so stupid. You're not gonna get any disc games. I
But
guarantee
if you
it.
do,
I
But
guarantee it.
But if
like
you
I
do.
but, like,
guarantee it.
you know what? If I'm gonna buy a new console, I'm going all in. All right.
Yeah.
There's no difference between a Slate.
Do you know that
That's
the
it!
no? This is another knock against the PlayStation.
Are you kidding me?
At launch, it only has 600 something gigabytes of
Yeah.
storage, and there doesn't take any external.
Yeah, that's
which
another bad
disc
thing.
games you have to download anyway, so that point is kind of
True.
obsolete. But
Xbox Series X.
I also have a
1
lot of
terabyte.
PS4 games that I'm like, I'm just gonna wait till I get the PS5 to play it because I'm like, I've waited this much to play them, so I might as well wait till I get the PS5. So I guess it's just like I've kind of have to get the disc now. Yeah, at this point, if the PlayStation, if the disc is out of stock and the disc and the digital is in stock, I'm buying it. I just need the console. I don't really care at this point. But
Honestly, yeah.
I completely lost track of what I was saying. Something controller.
I couldn't tell you.
Talking
about how good the
cross-platform.
Yeah, okay.
Call of Duty. Doesn't matter what console you have. That is the game that most people, you play with your friends. Like you're gonna be playing Call of Duty. You're gonna be playing. I feel like right now FPSs have been the most, I guess, party-centric game. At least for us,
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
So I guess this is more us specifically. So, and now most of them are cross-platform. So,
I think all of the popular ones right now are.
like, is Destiny cross-platform?
It is, but not from PS4 to Xbox. It's only PS4 to PC, PC to Xbox.
Gotcha. Which I mean, I think that's just because it's a last-gen game. I'm banking on the fact that you'll get laughed out of the room if you're not cross-platform. Like I just feel like, come on,
Yeah.
like really, like at this point, there's no reason to not have it cross-platform. But we'll see. I don't know if it ends up being the fact that it's not, then for you guys, definitely Xbox makes sense for you guys. But I mean, you can't argue. For me, I mean, I'm a Spider-Man shill. I just want to play Spider-Man. That's if I'm being honest. And I could play it on PS4, but why would I do that when I can play it on PS5?
And so, what I have to say is, I think it's honestly depends on who you are and if you already have Xbox or not. Because let me explain my two reasons. Who you are meaning, I play video games to play with my friends.
Me too.
Not I try to sit down and play a game by myself, and it's hard for me. That's just personally how I am. I don't want to get on and play a game unless I'm playing with my friends. So that's why I prefer the console that is more.
You didn't.
Party centric.
This is gonna make
Yeah.
people mad. He didn't even finish Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, well, that basically comes down to if you like playing story mode games or not, or if you just
And
like
I do,
playing
and
with your friends.
I enjoy playing story mode games. I played this crap out of Spider-Man when I when I borrowed Ethan's Spider-Man game.
Which you can't do on Xbox.
Exactly, but I'm saying, but that brings me to my next point.
Let's remember,
That brings me to my
Spider-Man
next-
is on PS5.
That brings me to my next point. Is it worth completely switching a console and losing everything that I built on the Xbox for a few games?
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know,
Because guess what? You can play all those games on...
Wait. A better Minecraft. That's a good point.
oh, that is a very good point.
All right,
Never
guys.
mind
I think that's it. Right?
Yeah, but no matter what, the PC Minecraft is better than that, so...
Yeah, but no,
you have
it's
to
the
pay
same.
for both of them.
Okay, but the Microsoft version.
Guess who can get Game Pass on their computer?
Everybody.
Xbox
Yeah.
players.
Oh. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Not
'cause
that
of
it
Xbox.
matters. You could just have a PC and get it. But
I think if you already
On your
have
phone, too.
Xbox, it's the better bet to stick with Xbox.
You could definitely tell that I'm definitely not 100% PlayStation because I've had experience with Xbox and I enjoy Xbox, but some of the greatest experiences I've had with video games so far has been with PlayStation. I've only had it for one generation. for me that's enough. I'm definitely a single player oriented player for sure. Like some of my favorite games are either RPGs or platformers, and that's single player, primarily single player. I of course love playing multiplayer games, but I suck at shooters, and I only play zombies on Call of Duty. That's the only thing I have fun with in terms of shooters. I just suck at them, so it doesn't connect with me, and I feel like Xbox is the shooter machine, and that's just... And there are a lot of cool story-based shooters, I think, for both platforms, so it's not like I'd be missing out if I wanted to play a shooter, but, I mean, I don't know. I hopefully in the future that some of the best games of the generation everybody can enjoy, but as of now, you know, I've got Bloodborne waiting for me. I got God of War waiting for me. I got Spider-Man waiting for me. I got Ratchet and Clank waiting for me. I got Persona waiting for me. I mean, that's like for me, like that's worth a console. Like those games, those series that I just listed, that's worth a console to me. And especially Spider-Man. If it was just Spider-Man, I would still do it.
Still switch.
So my argument doesn't really matter because I'm just a shill.
Yeah.
But